Today, we're going to dive into a really powerful piece of writing. It's something that truly challenges our modern ideas about age, about effort, and what wisdom really is. It's part social commentary, and it's also a bit of a call to action. So let's get right into it. Right off the bat, it opens with this startling line, "Children, do not laugh so easily." Now, this isn't just someone scolding you. It's really an invitation to look past the surface of things, to think a little more deeply. It sets a really thoughtful, challenging tone for everything that follows. So, the first big idea here is a challenge for us to completely rethink what it means to grow old. It really questions the assumptions that so many of us have about age and what it represents. And here's the contrast it lays out for us. On the one hand, you have the common view, right? That wrinkles and slower steps are just signs of weakness or decline. But then it presents a deeper truth, that those things are actually traces of a life that was burned at full capacity, often for the sake of other people. And that's the thing, right? The kind of wisdom etched on an elder's face, it comes from real lived experience, from human connection. It's something you just can't get from scrolling through a digital feed. It's a powerful reminder that true understanding comes from engaging with the messy, complex, beautiful real world. Okay, so now the focus totally shifts. It moves from how we view others to a very direct and honestly pretty blunt look at ourselves, specifically at the state of our own minds. And it asks this question, a question that's really for every single one of us. The writing isn't just critiquing society from a distance, it's asking you personally to look in the mirror and do a little self-diagnosis. And these are the symptoms of what the text calls the modern sickness of the mind. Things like just handing off our thinking to AI, or letting our attention get completely hijacked by an endless stream of short videos. These aren't just convenient shortcuts, they're habits that are actually weakening our ability to think for ourselves. You see, the crucial point here is that we've started to think about our own minds as if they're just hard drives for storing data. But that metaphor is so dangerously wrong. It completely misses the whole point of what makes the human brain so incredible. So instead, the source gives us this much more powerful metaphor, the brain as a living muscle. A muscle that isn't just for storing facts, but for cultivating true wisdom. It's the muscle that lets us feel empathy, understand other people, and navigate this complex world. And, just like any other muscle, it either grows with use or it withers away from neglect. Okay, so if our brains are muscles, how in the world do we strengthen them? Well, this next section gives us a pretty clear prescription for exactly that. This is the mind muscle. And it's not something you build by passively consuming information. It's built through difficult, deliberate effort. It's really forged in the fire of struggle. And here's the workout plan. And let me tell you, it is not meant to be easy. It involves what it calls the painful effort of reading challenging things. It even involves physical struggle, sweating, and training your body. Because it's through that whole process of difficulty, both mental and physical, that we can start to reclaim the patience and focus that we're all losing. I mean, this line just says it all, doesn't it? The kind of discipline it takes to be a deep reader is the same kind of discipline it takes to be a leader. The two are completely connected. And all of this leads us to a pretty fundamental truth. Real wisdom has a price. You can't just get it passively, and you certainly can't find it in your comfort zone. Wow, what a powerful image. Wisdom isn't found in untapped potential or just having information. It's found in the ashes of time and energy that you have actually burned in the pursuit of something meaningful. And this idea, this image, it brings us to the final beautiful metaphor of the whole piece. To really drive this point home, the author turns to the celebrated Korean poet An Do-hyun and a profound question he once asked about a simple briquette of coal. One of those blocks of compressed coal dust they use for fuel. And that question, it's really the heart of this final section, which is all built around this powerful parable of the coal briquette. The poem begins with this warning. Do not kick a briquette of coal so carelessly. It's saying, don't just dismiss something because it looks like useless ash. Don't just kick it to the side. And here it is, the central challenge of the poem, and really of this entire piece. Before you judge that spent-out briquette, you have to ask yourself, have you yourself ever burned so warmly for someone else? And this brings us right back to where we started. That briquette of coal, it burns itself down to white ash just to warm a room. In the exact same way, the elders we talked about at the beginning have spent their own lives to care for and remember others. So, you see, the white hair, the slower steps, this isn't weakness at all. This is what the text calls ash-like wisdom. It's the beautiful, noble proof of a life that was fully spent, a life that burned brightly with purpose. And that kind of wisdom, the kind that's born from empathy, from sacrifice, from a lifetime of burning for other people, well, that's something no supercomputer, no AI can ever replicate. It is so much deeper, so much more noble, and profoundly human. So we end right where the poet left us, with that very same question turned back on ourselves. It's a challenge, really, a challenge to build our own mind muscle and to really consider the kind of life we want to live. Is it going to be a life of just comfort and ease, or a life that is burned brightly for someone else?